Sounded like they said Ohio.
I love that they say Ohio. That rules.
Good morning and welcome to day 2 of Rattleskate Rumble. We are just a few minutes away from our first game beginning between the Arizona Roller Derby Rising and Jewish Roller Derby.
To start things off, we have our Jewish Roller Derby team with number 14, Sonnet Boom. Number 303, Doctor of Destruction. Number 44, Pikachu. Number 50, Cole Havakad. 54, Meshugganoff. 613, Borscht Belt Bruiser. 618, Sure Mensch. 626, Lilo V. Stitches. 64, Win in Rome. 69, Demanda Beating. 713, Schindler's Fist. 75, Gay of Reckoning. 77, Rocky Galboa. 847, Labia Minora. And number 97, Bella LeBrawl.
And wearing white is our Arizona Roller Derby Arizona Rising. We have number 09, Vampira. Number 113, Sid Vicious. 27, Beethoven. 31, 2x-Force. 33, Mecca. 45, Ammunitia. Number 5, Sunny Ono. 59, Squeezer. 602, Phoenix. Number 7, Skatey Katie. 709, Kiwi. 710, Gail Satan. 718, Rage and Bajan. And number 76, Little Evil.
And today for Game 4 of the Rattlesnake Rumble, our officials will be Kit Ruff, McWinkle, Say Rar, Cuddy, Fickle Bitch, Roland Deschain, Ms. Behaven, Sweet and Sour Candy, Notorious, Wolfgang, Dysentery, Colonel Angus, Hate Bit, Manosaur, Keshi, Colette Razorcat, and Flash.
And taking the track wearing the star for Jewish Roller Derby, we have Doctor of Destruction going up against Gail Satan for Arizona Rising. Gail Satan recycled to the back of the pack. And Doctor of Destruction is your lead jammer. Gail Satan still looking for that initial pass. She is out as Doctor of Destruction approaches on her first scoring pass. She gets through for all 4 points and calls it, holding Arizona scoreless.
All right, now for our second jam, we have Mecca with the star for Arizona and Sonic Boom. Pardon me. And whatever. You threw me out.
Sonic Boom recycled to the back by Rage and Bajan. Mecca working the top of the pack, looking for that lead jammer status, and she does get it. Sonic Boom with the star off, but hot on her heels. Unfortunately, that star was dropped, so she's going to go ahead and pick that back up, attempt to make an initial pass, as Mecca fights her way through the front of the pack. And Mecca opts to call it. That's going to be 3 points for Arizona Rising, 1 point. 1 point for Arizona Rising, 3 points for Jewish Roller Derby, excuse me.
Up next we have Sure Mensch for JRD and Kiwi with Arizona Rising both having the star. Sherman's finding a hole on the outside, manages to get the lead jammer position. Kiwi just breaking out, should not be far behind.
A sassy little wave to the Arizona bench from Shermensch. That is a full 4 points for Jewish Roller Derby, holding Arizona scoreless. We have Little Evil jamming for Arizona Rising and Schindler's Fist for Jewish Roller Derby.
Ooh, quick tumble from Schindler's Fist, but right back up. Both teams showing incredible defense, not letting either jammer through.
Little Evil trying to get through on that inside of turn 1, but knocked out and recycled to the back. Schindler's Fist with 1 to beat. She is past Ammunition and is your lead jammer. Little Evil still fighting those Jewish Roller Derby blockers in the back of the pack. And we have a successful star pass to Ragin Bajan taking over as jammer for Arizona Rising. And Schindler's Fist opts to call that jam before Rage is able to score any points. Arizona again held scoreless.
Doctor of Destruction with the star for JRD against Gail Satan for Arizona. Both jammers looking to take the inside, both getting knocked off the track.
And
Doctor of Destruction manages to break through, earning lead jammer.
Sunny Ono is going to the box for Arizona Rising. Gail Satan's still fighting her way through and is out off her initial pass as Doctor of Destruction is looking to score the full 4 and opts to call that jam. Full 4 points for Jewish Roller Derby. And it looks here at the end of that jam, the Jewish Roller Derby pivot is going to the box. Sounds like that was a destruction call. Both teams starting with 1 blocker in the box, so this will still be an even pack spread. Kiwi jamming for Arizona Rising, going up against Sonnet Boom.
Sonnet Boom breaking out, earning lead jammer position.
That'll be another 3 points going up for Jewish Roller Derby. Arizona is still held scoreless. Our current score is Arizona Rising with 1 point to Jewish Roller Derby with 18. We have Sherman jamming for Jewish Roller Derby up against Arizona Rising's Skatey Katie.
Some early tension between the two leaves them both blocked at the back of the pack. Lilo V Stitches manages to get back on the track from the penalty box.
And Skatey Katie is your lead jammer. Sherman with the pass. That's going to be Lilo V Stitches taking over as jammer for Jewish Roller Derby. That is another point for Arizona Rising going on the board, holding Jewish Roller Derby scoreless.
Up next, we have Little Evil jamming for Arizona.
And Rocky Galboa.
And Rocky Galboa jamming for JRD. Rocky Galboa out very quickly.
And Arizona Rising 2x4s going to the box for a destruction call. The star comes off for Little Evil, looking for a potential star pass. Rocky Galboa drew on another pass. We had a successful star pass, so Ragin' Bajin is now our jammer for Arizona Rising. And that will be a third successful scoring pass for Bella Labral. Ragin' Bajin putting 4 points on the board for Arizona Rising. And Bella Labral calls that jam before Ragin' Bajin is able to approach that pack. That was a 16-point jam for Jewish Roller Derby. That brings our score to Arizona Rising 6, Jewish Roller Derby 34.
Doctor of Destruction having the star for JRD and Gail Satan having it for Arizona. Gail Satan looking to go straight down the middle, causes a big tumble. Gail manages to break out, leaving Doctor of Destruction behind.
And Doctor of Destruction being recycled to the back of that pack by Squeezer. And recycled once again. Gail Satan completing her second scoring pass. Jewish Roller Derby attempting to hold Gail Satan there at the back and slow her momentum. And she is through on the outside. And that is a back block penalty being called on Gail Satan. That means this will be a power jam with 30 seconds remaining in this jam. And Amanda Beating is out on her initial pass. Sunny Ono going to the box for a destruction call for Arizona Rising as Amanda Beating approaches on her first scoring pass.
Looking like a 13-point jam for Arizona, 0 points for JRD, bringing the score to 34-19. Up next, we have Sonnet Boom wearing the star for JRD and Kiwi for Arizona. And a timeout called for JRD.
Are you interested in learning to skate or learning how to play roller derby? Join us. Scan the QR code up front on the banner to learn more information.
There are lots of ways to support the sport of roller derby. If you want to give back, join our volunteer crew and be a part of the action.
Support the sport.
Support the sport.
Support the sport. Support the sport.
Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Team timed out, turn to official review.
Huh? Yeah, I have to switch up. We have a shout out on the Twitch stream for Arizona Rising Squeezer.
Speaking of shout outs, going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors 888, Sisu, 817 Killer Pads, and Night Owl. You are our MVPs. Show some love for the sponsors. I don't know.
Can't do it like that sound. I can't do it on this side anymore because I lost my back molar. The crown broke, and when they went to go fix it, they're like, "There's not enough tooth because we have to bring it down more." All right. It looks like we have the results of that official review. Jewish Roller Derby was seeking a review stating that the Arizona jammer did not serve their full penalty. We have checked in with our penalty timers, and they have confirmed that they did, in fact, serve their full penalty. They will not retain that review this half. it looks like we are just about ready to get back to the action. We have Sonic Boom wearing the star for Jewish Roller Derby going up against Arizona Rising's Kiwi. Both jammers looking for that outside and meeting heavy resistance from the blockers. Sonic Boom able to fight to the front of the pack and is your lead jammer.
Sonic Boom
Kiwi with the start off looking for that pass and is through on her initial pass.
Sonic Boom making light work
Sonic
of the pack,
Boom with 4 points
inside.
on the board for Roller Derby. I'm still not used to 2 people going in one jam. Once again, we have Mensch going up against Skatey Katie on the jammer line. Very fun to watch these two jam against each other. Fun fact, Mensch does also skate for Arizona Roller Derby. These two are teammates most of the time. And Mensch is your lead jammer, and Skatey Katie is going into the box. That makes this a power jam for Jewish Roller Derby. Mensch fighting at front, able to dodge Rage and squeeze through on that line. Hyping up the crowd, a little showmanship from Mensch. Skatey Katie rejoining the track with the star off looking for a potential pass. But she is able to squeeze through, and Mensch goes ahead and calls that jam.
It's like 4 points for JRD to 3 points for Arizona, bringing the score from, 7 points for JRD, 0 points for Arizona, bringing the score to 45-19. Next, we have Schindler's Fist for JRD and Little Evil for AZ. Schindler's Fist looking to go straight up out the middle.
Both jammers still fighting to get through. Go ahead.
Little Evil getting the lead jammer. Schindler's Fist still having trouble getting with that initial leaving the pack.
And Little Evil calls the jam, holding Jewish Roller Derby scoreless, and that'll be 3 points going up for Rising. We have Doctor of Destruction jamming for Jewish Roller Derby going up against Gail Satan for Arizona Rising. And Gail Satan is your lead jammer. Doctor of Destruction looking for a potential pass. Arizona trying to keep them apart, but we have a successful star pass. Lilo V Stitches is your new Jewish Roller Derby jammer. Gail Satan with 4 points for Arizona Rising, and it does look like Doctor of Destruction is heading to the penalty box. That will be pack advantage for Arizona heading into this next jam.
Kiwi with the star for Arizona, Sonic Boom for JRD. looking to go around the outside. Sonic Boom following up behind, earning lead jammer position. Kiwi manages to break out of the pack. It's like 3 points for JRD to Arizona 0, getting the score to 48-26.
Wearing the star for Jewish roller derby is Shormench, going up once again with Skatey Katie. These two just cannot stay away from each other.
A monstrous lineup, to be sure.
This is Shormench and Skatey Katie's third time jamming against each other. Both jammers meeting heavy resistance, taking some tumbles here heading into turn 1. And Shormench was the first one out, so is lead jammer and opts to call it. I also would not be interested in racing Katie.
No way. Bella LeBrawl jamming for Jewish roller derby up against Little Evil. Bella LeBrawl earning lead jammer. Amanda DeBeating giving Little Evil a run for her money.
A big hit from Squeezer to Bella LeBrawl, and Little Evil is out. And Bella LeBrawl decides to go ahead and call that jam, adding another 3 points to Jewish roller derby, bringing our score to Arizona Rising 26, Jewish roller derby 51.
Close to 10 minutes left in the game, still very close, with Doctor of Destruction jamming for Jewish roller derby and Gail Satan for Arizona. Gail getting recycled back by Lilo and Stitches.
A forearm call is going to send Amanda Beating to the penalty box. And Doctor of Destruction is out as your lead jammer.
Gail Satan not far behind.
Looks like Sunny Ono is also in the box. Arizona able to sneak 3 points in on that jam. Both teams will be starting with one player in the penalty box, so we will still have an even split as Kiwi and Sonic Boom line up on the jammer line. Both jammers fighting on that inside line. Oh, a little jammer fight. Okay. And Sonic Boom says no. That will be a 0-0 jam.
Once again, Skatey Katie and Sure Mensch jamming against each other. With
It's almost like a forbidden love story.
Right? Someone should write something on Wattpad about it.
And Skatey Katie is your lead jammer, but Sure Mensch right behind. Big smiles from Sure Mensch and pure concentration for Skatey Katie. And Sure Mensch able to sneak 3 points to Skatey Katie's 1 point. That's going to bring our score to 30. Arizona Rising, 57 Jewish Roller Derby.
You would think this was USARS with how fast they were all skating.
We have
Next,
some
we
very
got Little
fast-
Evil against Schindler's Fist.
Both jammers
looking-
still at the back of the pack. Started at the exact same time. Little Evil recycle to the back while Schindler's Fist fight in the front, meeting resistance from Squeezer and Beethoven. Little Evil once again recycled, coming in behind Gay of Reckoning. And with that no pack call, we have Schindler's Fist out as your lead jammer. And a successful star pass from Little Evil 2, Rage Invasion, taking over as jammer for Arizona Rising. And Schindler's Fist goes ahead and calls that before Rage Invasion is able to approach and score points for Arizona. That'll be 3 points added to Jewish Roller Derby.
Doctor of Destruction up against Gail Satan. Another consistent pairing throughout this game.
It does appear we have very similar jammer pools between Jewish Roller Derby and Arizona Rising.
Doctor of Destruction earning lead jammer. Another person I would not want chasing me is Gail Satan.
Doctor of Destruction calling it just as Gail Satan approaches the pack. She is able to sneak 1 point for Arizona Rising. Jewish Roller Derby scoreless that jam. Kiwi wearing the star for Arizona Rising, going up against Bella LeBrawl for Jewish Roller Derby. Little tumble. And we are all right back up. All right, and Kiwi is your lead jammer.
Ooh.
Big hit out to Bella LeBrawl, being recycled all the way to the back of the pack as Kiwi attempts her first scoring pass and completes it for a full 4 points for Arizona Rising. Ammunition recycling Bella LeBrawl to the back of the pack once again as Kiwi completes another scoring pass. And Bella LeBrawl is out on her initial pass as Kiwi approaches. And Kiwi calls it holding Jewish Roller Derby scoreless, adding another 3 points on that final pass for an 11-point jam for Arizona Rising. That is going to bring our score to Arizona Rising 42, Jewish Roller Derby 60, with just about 3.5 minutes left in this half.
Breaking up the matchups, we have Skatey Katie up against Sonnet Boom. Skatey Katie making quick work of the pack, going on the inside of the track. Gets lead jammer. Sonnet Boom has broken out as well. Looks like having trouble with the star itself. Katie getting a quick 4 points and calling off the jam. Bringing the score to 60 to 46.
Gail Satan wearing the star for Arizona Rising going up against Shermensch for Jewish roller derby. Shermensch attempting some mind games on Gail Satan.
Sherman's almost managing to break out.
Sherman gets lead but gets knocked out and decides to call it.
Now we've got Doctor of Destruction jamming against Kiwi.
And we have an official timeout. Where's all our stuff? That was quick. That was quick. They were calling for jammer, so I'm like, this is going to be a very quick conversation. And we are getting back into the action. Oh, and Kiwi going to the box for a cut track penalty, making this a power jam in favor of Jewish roller derby. Arizona Rising blockers trying to make sure that that does not work out for them.
Doctor looking for any kind of opening, just decides to try to push straight through the triangle. Finally manages to break through.
And Doctor of Destruction is out as your lead jammer. Kiwi also out on her initial pass. And Doctor of Destruction calls it, holding Arizona scoreless to 4 points for Jewish roller derby. Skatey Katie jamming for Arizona Rising against Sonnet Boom for Jewish roller derby. And Sonnet Boom is your lead jammer. Skatey Katie out on her initial pass as Sonnet Boom makes her first scoring pass and goes ahead and calls it after securing all 4 points.
That brings us to the end of the first half.
We will see you back here in 15 minutes. In the meantime, please feel free to check out our concessions, our merch table. If you are interested in roller derby, please find any of our wonderful volunteers in the blue teal shirts. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Now, welcome back to the second half of Game 4 of the Rattlesnake Rumble? Rattlestate Rumble.
Wearing the star for Arizona Rising, we have Gail Satan going up against Jewish Roller Derby's Doctor of Destruction. Oh, and a cut track called on Gail Satan, making this a power jam for Jewish Roller Derby. Those Arizona blockers trying to burn as much time as possible, but Doctor of Destruction able to get out and is your lead jammer. Gail Satan back on the track. A destruction call being called for Demanda Beating heading to the box. Gail Satan fighting her way through that pack and is through on her first scoring pass, as Doctor of Destruction is attempting to make a second scoring pass. And Gail Satan is through. And it looks like number 4 for Pikachu going to the box as well. 15 seconds remaining in this jam. We have no lead jammer. Doctor of Destruction being recycled all the way to the back by Arizona Rising's 2x4s. And with time expiring, it looks like another 2 points going up for Jewish Roller Derby. That'll be 16 points going up for Arizona Rising to Jewish Roller Derby's 10.
With the second jam of this half, we have Sonnet Boom up against Kiwi as jammers.
Slight pack advantage to Arizona Rising as Pikachu is still in the box, but is standing ready to rejoin play.
Sonnet Boom getting lead jammer.
Kiwi out on her initial pass as Sonnet Boom is working her way through the pack on her first scoring pass. And she calls it, holding Arizona scoreless and picking up 3 points for Jewish Roller Derby. The saga continues. Skatey Katie jamming against Shermensch.
Shermensch putting up a significant fight against AZRD.
Shermensch with one to beat and is your lead jammer. Skatey Katie still at the back of the pack.
Ooh, hard fall for Skatey Katie.
Katie recycled all the way to the back of the pack while Sherman is pushing those last 2 rising blockers. And gets by Phoenix for a full 4 points for Jewish Roller Derby. 2x4s heading to the box for a back block call. Sherman through for another 4 points going up. Skatey Katie is still on her initial pass, being recycled to the back once again. Oh, and sure, Mensch going to the box for a back block call just as Katie rejoins the track. So a power jam for Arizona.
AZRD getting a penalty for a forearm.
Skatey Katie looking to make the most of these last few seconds of this jam. Another 4 points going up for Arizona Rising.
And after all that back and forth, ooh, there we go. Updated thing, 11 points for JRD and 8 points for Arizona, bringing the score to 92-70. Little Evil jamming for AZRD up against Schindler's Fist for JRD.
Arizona starting with one blocker in the box. Looks like Sunny Ono standing ready to rejoin. Slight pack advantage to Jewish Roller Derby.
Little Evil caught behind a triangle from JRD.
Rage and Bajan heading to the box for a forearms call, and Schindler's Fist is your lead jammer. Pikachu also heading to the box. It looks like that was also a forearms call.
Schindler's Fist getting significant
A
encouragement from the
destruction
bench.
call as well. That's gonna give us 2 Jewish Roller Derby boxers sitting in the box as Little Evil approaches the pack. Schindler's Fist also trying to work their way through.
Hard block from Bush Belt Butcher to help Schindler's Fist get through.
And with that scoring patch, Jewish Roller Derby passes the century mark with 100 points on the board. A destruction call, sending Gay Reckning to the box. And Schindler's Fist opts to call it, sneaking 1 more point in on that pass. And Arizona Rising calling a timeout. Now that was a very heavy penalty jam there. And just speaking of penalties, Arizona Roller Derby's penalty box is sponsored by Night Owl. Their goal is to provide superb New York-style pizza by the slice and smash burgers within a warm and eclectic atmosphere served by a friendly and welcoming staff.
Another one of AZRD's sponsors, 888, elevating Derby safety standards with cutting-edge technology.
Arizona Roller Derby has 11 penalties so far this game to Jewish Roller Derby's 12, so this is a very evenly spread penalty game. All right, we are getting back to the action. We have Doctor of Destruction jamming for Jewish Roller Derby against Arizona Rising's Gail Satan. Gail Satan hit to that outside by Labia Minora. And Arizona Rising's Phoenix going to the box for a forearm penalty. And a track cut called on Doctor of Destruction, making this a power jam for Gail Satan, who is your lead jammer.
fantastic opportunity for Gale Satan to even the score.
Gale Satan knocked out by Bella LeBras, but right back in there. And Gale Satan is through. 4 points for Arizona Rising. Doctor of Destruction with a successful star pass to Bella LeBras, taking over as jammer for Jewish Roller Derby. And Gale Satan calls it mid-fall. Very graceful spinning fall from Gale Satan. For another full 4 points, that's going to be an 8-point jam for Arizona Rising. They are slowly trying to close that score gap. We have Arizona Rising 86, Jewish Roller Derby 101.
For this next jam, we have Kiwi with the star for AZRD, and JRD has Sonnet Boom.
Sonnet Boom trying to tiptoe through that inside line and does get lead jammer. I see a cut track being called. Someone's heading to the box. And Sonnet Boom is through on her first scoring pass. It appears Kiwi went to the box, so this is a power jam. And Sonnet Boom goes ahead and calls it. That is going to be a power start in favor of Jewish Roller Derby, as well as Arizona Rising having a blocker in the box. So in addition to a power start, they will have pack advantage. Mensch wearing the star for Jewish Roller Derby. Kiwi will be rejoining as jammer once she is released from the penalty box. And Mensch is your lead jammer. Kiwi and Squeezer rejoining the track after their penalties have been served. Kiwi able to squeeze through on that initial pass on that inside turn one. And Mensch calls it after picking up 3 points for Jewish Roller Derby. Lilo V Stitches starting with the star for the first time this game for Jewish Roller Derby, going up against Skatey Katie for Arizona Rising.
Skatey Katie getting the lead jammer. Our Lilo and Stitches not far behind and overtaking.
And a very fast 0-0 jam.
Up next, we have Doctor of Destruction and Little Evil jamming. Little Evil getting caught at the very back of the pack, giving an opening for Doctor Destruction to get the lead jammer. Little Evil managing to get through for the initial pass.
Little Evil able to score 2 points to meet Doctor of Destruction's 4. Little Evil in the box at the start of this jam, making this a power jam in favor of Jewish Roller Derby. Sonic Boom jamming for JRD. He is recycled back, but able to fight through and secure lead jammer position. A forearm call being for Gay of Reckoning. They'll be heading to the box as Little Evil is released.
Sonic Boom showing some commanding communication between her and her blockers.
And right at the end of that jam, Squeezer will be heading to the box for a back block call.
Jamming next, we have Shermensch and Gail Satan. Do you think Shermensch misses Skatey Katie? Do you think Shermensch misses Skatey Katie?
I think so. Shermensch quickly pushing the pack forward. And is your lead jammer. Gail Satan not far behind. Maybe 20 feet difference between these two jammers. Shermensch yelling at their blockers. Gail Satan able to sneak 2 points in. Jewish Roller Derby scoreless that jam. We still have one Jewish Roller Derby blocker in the box for Arizona Rising's 2, so that will be a slight pack advantage to Jewish Roller Derby, as we have Kiwi for Arizona Rising and Schindler's Fist jamming for Jewish Roller Derby.
Schindler's Fist having a fantastic opening to gut through and get lead jammer. Skatey Kate or Kiwi breaking through the pack. That is 2 points for JRD, bringing them to 124 to Arizona's 90. Only 34 points between the two of them.
Taking the track, we have Skatey Katie jamming for Arizona Rising going up against Doctor of Destruction for Jewish Roller Derby. We have an empty penalty box, so we will be starting with all 4 blockers and pivots on the track. Jammers side by side fighting through, and Skatey Katie is your lead jammer. Doctor of Destruction still being held. And Skatey Katie is through for 4 points.
97 getting sent to the penalty box.
And Vampira going to the box for a destruction call. That is going to be 2 Arizona blockers in the box for Jewish Roller Derby's pivot in the box. A slight pack advantage once again going to Jewish Roller Derby. Shermensch jamming for JRD going up against Arizona Rising's Lil Evil. And Sherman is your lead jammer within that first 5 feet.
Using the opportunity of having 2 blockers in the penalty box to have the wide open chance.
And Sherman calls it, picking up 3 points for Jewish Roller Derby, holding Arizona scoreless.
Jamming for, I believe, the second time this game. We have Lilo v. Stitches against Gale Satan. Stitches getting lead jammer for JRD. Gale Satan breaking out and in pursuit.
Colat Razorcat taking a little bit of a tumble with Lilo v. Stitches.
And in Stitches' words herself, that's why we wear gear.
Doctor of Destruction jamming for Jewish Roller Derby, going up against Arizona Rising's Kiwi. Kiwi is your lead jammer. Raging Bajan going to the box for Arizona Rising. Kiwi picking up 3 points. I'm seeing a it looks like Kiwi picked up a cut track right there at the end, so we'll be going to the box. That will be a power start for Jewish Roller Derby. This is the second power start for Jewish Roller Derby that has Shermensch as jammer. Arizona Pivot Raging Bajan is also in the box, so we have a pretty heavy advantage going to Jewish Roller Derby heading into Jam 16. Blockers all setting up right at the front. Looks like Sherman's going to be making a run for it. And Arizona says, no, never mind. And some very effective offense from those Jewish Roller Derby blockers has Sherman out as your lead jammer. Sherman fighting those final two blockers, Phoenix and Ammunitia. And is through. Ammunitia getting a forearm for her efforts and will be going to the penalty box. Kiwi rejoining the track. Big hit from Sherman to Phoenix and is through on a second scoring pass. Kiwi still fighting for that initial pass. Everyone just taking a little break here in turn 3. And Kiwi is through on her initial pass. And Sherman calls it as Kiwi approaches the pack. That is going to be 12 points going up for Jewish Roller Derby. Arizona held scoreless.
Up next, we have Schindler's Fist up against Skatey Katie for the 18th jam this half. Schindler's Fist getting a back block penalty, giving Skatey Katie an opportunity for the power jam.
This is a great opportunity for Arizona Rising to try to close that score gap a little bit. And a sweep from the Arizona blockers gets Skatey Katie through for 4 points. Schindler's Fist standing in the box, preparing to rejoin. A battle cry from Beethoven, and Skatey Katie is through. And Schindler's Fist is able to complete their initial pass just as Skatey Katie approaches the pack for the third time. And she calls it after picking up a full 4 points, holding Jewish roller derby scoreless this jam. And that brings Arizona over the century mark. We now have a score of Arizona Rising 110 to Jewish roller derby's 141.
Little Evil and Dr. Destruction at the jammer line for this one.
Both jammers still meeting heavy resistance as we go through turn 1, heading into turn 2. Track cut being called on Little Evil, who will go to the box, making this a power jam for Jewish roller derby. Phoenix and Rage and Bajan doing their best to hold Doctor of Destruction. Vampire attempting to help stretch that pack. And Doctor of Destruction is your lead jammer. Doctor of Destruction now stuck behind that full blocker contingent for Arizona Rising. Oh, and Little Evil back to the box just after rejoining. Doctor of Destruction recycled all the way to the back by Rage and Bajan. Doctor of Destruction getting calls from the bench to go ahead and call that jam. Unfortunately, a track cut penalty called before that could happen. Little Evil will rejoin the track while Doctor of Destruction serves the equivalent time served by Little Evil. And Little Evil is through off her initial pass. And Doctor of Destruction rejoining the track here in the final seconds of this jam, able to pick up another 4 points.
Looks like that was 4 points for JRD to Arizona's 2, bringing the score to 145 to 112. We have Shermensch and Gail Satan jamming next. Shermensch getting lead jammer. JRD doing everything they can to make sure that Gail Satan stays at the back of the pack.
Satan recycled twice to the back by Gay Reckoning now as Shermensch completes their first scoring pass.
4 points from Shermensch, looking to get more.
Satan find their way to the front of the pack. Gay Regning going to the box for a forearm call as Sherman completes another scoring pass. Gail Satan has completed her initial pass, now eligible to pick up some points. Sherman's trying to fight by Ammunition and is through. Receives the call from the bench to go ahead and just keep on going. Gail Satan able to pick up 4 points for Arizona Rising. Looks like Shermensch may be attempting to clear the penalty box and calls it after picking up another 2 for Jewish Roller Derby for a 14-point jam for Shermensch.
8 8 points from Gail Satan. Next, we have Kiwi up against Lilo Stitches.
And Lilo V Stitches forced out of bounds and recycled by 2x4s. Kiwi is your lead jammer, but Lilo V Stitches just a little under half a track behind. And Kiwi calls it, picking up 2 points and holding Jewish Roller Derby scoreless.
Next, we have Doctor of Destruction up against Skatey Katie. As a timeout gets called. Looks like it's an official timeout.
Yeah. Sick. While our officials confirm, let's hear it for our skaters. They are all working very hard on the track for you today. Let's also hear it for our officials. They are doing a very hard job. At the conclusion of this official timeout, this is likely to be our final jam of the game. Looks like we are setting up to get back into the action. We have Doctor of Destruction jamming for Jewish Roller Derby going up against Skatey Katie. Doctor of Destruction recycled to the back, and Skatey Katie is out, but not your lead jammer. There was a no pass, no penalty call. So while Skatey Katie is eligible to score points at this time, she is not in the lead. And Doctor of Destruction is your lead jammer. Jewish Roller Derby opting to try to run the pack. Skatey Katie is through for another 4 points for Arizona Rising. Doctor of Destruction being held up by those Arizona Rising blockers and opts to call it, picking up 4 points in the process. We will just wait while those officials confer before we have that final rolling whistle indicating a final score.
Thank you.
And with that rolling whistle, that gives us an official score of Arizona Rising 130 to Jewish Roller Derby 163. Congratulations to Jewish Roller Derby. We invite everyone up in the stands to come down, line up around the track, and give a high five to all of our amazing skaters.